You expressed a lot of anxiety, but I want to calm your nerves. We are very good people. We are very reasonable people here in the Senate. I also want to take this opportunity to let you know that this is the first time that I'm interacting with members of the National Assembly in a formal setting such as this. Because it has also been my desire to understand how you people process things, how you understand things, your view of the world. I am happy that my member of parliament from Busia has brought up the issue of clean hands. He's asking us to speak to governors. I don't know if I can also give him a message to the president, because under the constitution, it is the National Assembly that oversees the national government. And I am sure that is not the spirit of this conversation. Honorable Chair, also let me disclose that as a senator, I feel at a great disadvantage sitting with members of the National Assembly who, I believe, have more information than I do when it comes to the budget making process. And especially the chair of figures, the fingertips. But here in the Senate, we insist on documents. When you make a reference to a figure, you must show us, because I will be very open with you. We don't trust you. We don't trust members of the National Assembly because we believe you have more information than us and you're not putting all the cards to the table. I understand why this issue of the RMLF is very touchy to the members of the National Assembly. And Honorable Undo, you know me. I am a very straightforward person. I know why you people are upset with this question of RMLF. But if we get into those things, I don't believe we are going to get to where we are. First of all, Chair, we had struggled here in the Senate with the provisions of Article 218. And I am happy that the party leader for MDG is my senior-in-law. Yes, maybe he can guide me on the understanding of the National Assembly of Article 218, because for us in the Senate, we started our objections to the amendments proposed by the National Assembly from that particular article, that we believe that the Constitution anticipates only one annual division of and allocation of revenue bill, only one in a financial year. So that if you come back to us with anything else you are calling an annual division of revenue bill, we have every right to reject it. Number two, Honorable Chair, we are persuaded by constitutional institutions who know better than us. Here in the Senate, we are guided by the Commission on Revenue Allocation, because they have the tools to be able to see where people are hiding figures. Because when the chair throws around figures like that, I know he wants to confuse lawyers like myself, who have never seen that budget, the national budget, and or to intimidate members of the Senate who might not have interacted with these figures. But those commissions exist to guide institutions such as the Senate. So when you are reeling off these numbers, Honorable Chair, we want to understand where are you getting these figures, yet the CRA has given us a different perspective. Year on year, if you compare the growth in the national government allocation vis-a-vis the growth in the allocation to the counties expressed as a percentage, even in this financial year before the things you said happened, the growth in the national government allocation of over 371 billion represents 17.1%, and compare that to the 4.3% marginal increase that you had sent to the county governments is a problem for us. And maybe this forum will provide an opportunity for you to educate us on the thinking in the National Assembly. As a fundamental principle, the Senate will never in any financial year agree to a reduction of the amount below the previous financial year. I think that is something we must understand from the beginning. So if we were at 385 last year, I want to know the thinking behind the National Assembly deciding that we can actually defund counties by returning the figure below what we achieved in the last financial year. You have spoken about the the finance bill of 2024. I am also aware, Honorable Chair, that the courts have actually upheld the finance bill of 2023, and it is what is in operation. So we want to understand the justification of you going below 385 in your proposals, below what was actually there in the financial year previous to this. So, Honorable Chair, if you address some of those concerns, and we ask for objectivity, because without objectivity, we will not be able to move. I'm not very familiar with the standing orders in the National Assembly, but the preliminary objection that has been brought by the Member of Parliament from Soy, I tried to help you in the opening remarks. Our standing orders require that if you are going to raise an objection on sub judice, it is you to bring the evidence, that is the actual pleadings in the case, and any judgments or rulings that have been given, so that we are able to distinguish the matter from any other matter. Because in my understanding, the RMLF dispute is a different dispute regarding a different act of parliament. This discussion here is a discussion of the money. And we know, Honorable Soy, why. I have said we know why you are raising this objection on RMLF. So it is not the Senate. It is not the Senate. Honorable Chair, the MP, Mheshimiwa Undo, knows that even his governor, I don't speak to him. I have actually been stoned by his governor in Busia. And we don't have engagements every day with our governors. The last time I saw my governor is, I think, almost 6 months ago. So we do our job here, under the mandate we've been given by the Constitution. It is not necessarily that we are representatives of governors or that they are our friends or that we talk every day. But just delivering a message, I am sure you and me will be at a forum this weekend. And even you can tell him that you are unhappy with the fact that the Council of Governors chose to take this matter to the courts. We have various avenues to deliver that message. It cannot be a hindrance to this process. Finally, Chair, if you go to the report of the recommendations that came from the Commission on Revenue Allocation, in fact, some of the things that I have said arose from their recommendations when they appeared before our Committee on Finance and Budget, that there are certain expenditures that are expected of county governments that arose out of implementation of programs. And this is where you came in. You are the ones who passed these laws, Honorable Chair, in the National Assembly. And they have bequeathed upon county governments a certain financial and fiscal responsibility. Here in Nairobi, and I suspect even in all our constituencies, if you go back home and you are telling the community health promoters that we are going to cut the allocation to CHPs in this financial year, all of us here as politicians are going to have certain difficulties because these people are already in place. I remember there was a math, Honorable Ali Roba, I don't remember the exact figures, but that the proposal from the National Assembly would render almost 25% of the CHPs, was it? It will affect the salaries of about 25% of the CHPs, 25,000 CHPs. So, as Senator Veronica has said, for me, first of all, because I said I don't trust the national government, and when I say that, I mean I also don't trust the National Assembly. When you say that the national government is going to take a dent of 385, I need to be shown. I don't believe it. I need to be shown these are the programs in the national government that are going to be cut that add up to 385. For us, we have been open. You have seen in the brief, this non-discretionary expenditure, and Senator Eddy also went through them on CHPs, for instance, on county aggregation packs. We can tell you specifically the line items for which we believe there is really no wiggle room. So you also tell us, take us through the budget of the national government and tell us this 385, we had planned to do this road in Kiharu, we are no longer going to do that road. And then we'll be able to be on the same page as Honorable Undo has insisted. We proceed on the basis of honesty. We put all the cards on the table. I thank you.
And
Okay.
Chair,
Just
sorry, just to also say.
Kidogo, Veronica, don't please don't press the mic and just talk so that we have some order, okay? Now, I just want to give a little bit of guide because the reason why you have a chair and co-chair is also to moderate. Now, because I've seen us versus them, you know, mentality, and you're representing the interest of maybe the honorable members of National Assembly and that. You know, devolution has come of age. When we started devolution, and I must mention this, Honorable Kiplagat and Honorable Oundo, when we started devolution, we had senators in this house that demonized devolution. And I will, for the record and on the camera, I will mention names. One of them is Senator Sang, then. you know, politicizing the issue of you being called Your Excellency, and these governors are just demigods. And then you have people like Senator Wamatangi, who really took some stand, you know, demonizing governors in whatever form. And you have members of National Assembly like Senator Barire. All of them, by grace of God, they are governors now. And the language they speak is very different. Now, my caution to you, honorable members, is you really need to understand whatever goes around, comes around. I sit here as a former governor for 10 years. I'm a senator. And the realities that should inform us, we do not legislate with emotions. We legislate for posterity. We legislate so that whatever we do can outlive the test of time in terms of objectivity. If you get to understand, maybe if you ask, and don't even press the mic when the chair is talking, so that you can pay proper attention in terms of what we are discussing. I want to tell you this. When you have, you know, when the chair is guiding, you have a right to say when you are, that's the purpose of having co-chairs. Let me finish, because when you discuss about issues in regards to emotions in the National Assembly, you are giving lectures, you are giving guidance. What I'm trying to tell you is that you do not legislate with emotions, and you do not legislate for short-term gains in terms of political relationships. Many of us don't get along with our governors. But when you have objectivity to guide an issue of national importance, it's very important that